6:13 this morning, we are back on air, and we think we have Tanya Eiserer back on the phone.
I am here, Mark.
Ah, yes, your lovely voice. Glad to hear you, Tanya. Hey, we understand that you've kind of become our WFAA expert on all things ERCOT, and we know that a lot of people, when you start hearing about the cold temperatures, they last for a couple of days, we are sort of triggered and reminded of 2021 and the failure there. So where are we at now?
Well, look, we've come a long way from 2 years ago. Of course, some of that progress has been painful. Power generators were required to winterize, so were natural gas facilities. So that's a huge change from 2 years ago. And it was part of the fallout from them failing to do that after the 2011 storm. The state's electricity supply chain map has been done. ERCOT's board's been changed out. They've got a new CEO. But I think it's really clear a lot more has to be done to really truly fix this problem going forward for decades.
But Tanya, you've reported on this issue extensively. You've got a different power grid in the state of Texas than the rest of the country operates on. And so you've got a weird situation where some of these companies aren't really incentivized to have this power ready until it's needed. But that ERCOT says those changes are in place, though, if we really do hit another one of those once in a decade, once in a century weather events, that they'll be ready.
I think that really remains to be seen. I really do. That the grid has not been tested in a way that it was 2 years ago. The storm we're having right now, it is not as cold, although it is cold out there. It is not going to last as long, and it's not widespread. This storm is covering about a third of the state versus that storm 2 years ago covered the entire state and beyond. So, and they're going to have to make, and this is going to be discussed a lot in the legislative session, how to redesign the market, because in a perverse way, the way the market is set up, power generators make money when demand is scarce. And so what's been happening is ERCOT is running the grid very conservatively right now, so they're having extra reserves, which means that power generators aren't making as much money. And where that's important is if they don't make money, then they don't stay in business. And it's really important, in particular with our natural gas generators, that we keep them online. A lot of our natural gas power plants are aging, and right now I was looking at it, that 65%, or in the 65 percentile of our fuel mix right now is natural gas generation. So that's part of what they have to look at in the future, is how we ensure we have that right mix going forward so we do keep the lights on.
And so what you're saying is they're going to be talking about how to achieve that during this legislative session.
Yeah, and there's going to be a huge fight over that. I mean, the PUC, the Public Utility Commission, they passed a market redesign. The governor signed on to it, but the Senate is not agreeing to it. So I think that's going to be a huge fight in the legislative session. So I think my days of being on ERCOT watch are going to last quite a bit longer.
Well, I know one of the issues in Texas, we brag about having our own power grid, but it also means in situations where there are failures, it's tricky for us to get power from other states, from the national grids. Any discussion about a connection there that could be a lifeline in situations where things do get dicey?
Well, Mark, that is really a complicated question because of the way the interconnections work. I don't know that I can completely explain it early this morning, but there are some, they call them DC connections. There's some of that stuff underway. And look, I think it's really important to remember we're not the only grid to have problems. And in the recent storms, the grid in California has had problems. The grids in the Northeast have had problems. All the power grids have had various problems. So I think it would be a mistake to pretend that ERCOT is the only grid that has had difficulties.
All right, Tanya Eiserer, our lead investigative reporter and also our ERCOT expert here at WFAA. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you said, a beat she'll be covering for quite a while.
That's true.